Hola a todos. Hello everyone, this is Himanshu Nag and today our group, which consists of electrical branch first year students, shall discuss on a very debatable topic, global warming and its solution. So, our group consists of Akash Modanwal, Ayushman Singh, B. Dikshit, Ishan Chirpal and Sahil Kumar Shah. Let's just take a quick view on our contents of this discussion. So let's start with the definition of global warming. So guys, what is global warming? Global warming is a phenomenon of climate change characterized by a general increase in average temperatures of Earth, which modifies the weather balances and ecosystems. For a long time, it is directly linked to the increase of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere, worsening the greenhouse effect. Now Ayushman will elaborate it.
So, जैसा हिमांशु ने कहा, global warming is caused by greenhouse gases. It is one of the aspects of climate change. From the pre-industrial period, human activities are keep on increasing, which increases the globe's temperature. From the 19th century, the average temperature of the planet is increased by 0.8 degrees Celsius. So now let's look at what is the difference between normal climate change and global warming.
So climate change basically means human caused changes or the changes caused by natural ones. The Earth's climate is influenced and changed through natural causes like volcanic eruptions, ocean currents, the Earth's orbital changes, solar variations and internal variability. Humans can cause climate changes by burning fossil fuels, emitting aerosol pollution, which are the tiny particles that reflect sunlight and cool the climate, or by transforming the Earth's landscape from carbon storing forests to farmland.
Now coming to the global warming. Global warming refers to the rise in global temperature due mainly to the increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere. Its side effects include melting of glaciers, heavy rainstorms, or more frequent drought. Said another way, global warming is one symptom of the much larger problem of human-caused climate change. Now coming to the causes of global warming.
Now, when we talk about what are the various causes of global warming, one of the major causes of global warming is burning fossil fuel. Burning fossil fuel provides a huge amount of greenhouse gases. Now, you would be wondering that what do you mean by greenhouse gas? Greenhouse gases are the gases which are present in the atmosphere which trap or absorb the heat from the sun and helps in maintaining average temperature of our planet. Now, due to burning of fossil fuel, the amount or concentration of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is increasing day by day, due to which the average temperature of Earth is increasing and hence leading to global warming. Now, when we talk, now the next most important point is deforestation. Now, when we talk about deforestation, deforestation is ruthlessly cutting down of forest and plants for land or any other need. Now, now you would be wondering that why deforestation is a cause of global warming. It is a cause of global warming since plants are the one who naturally reduces the atmospheric concentration of greenhouse gases. But since plants uses carbon dioxide, which is one of the greenhouse gas for photosynthesis, and helps in reducing the parts per million concentration of greenhouse gas in the atmosphere and helps in reducing global warming. But instead we are going on cutting trees and leading to deforestation, which leads to increase in greenhouse gas and hence leading to global warming. For further causes, my friend Akash will share.
Now, some other causes which include overconsumption, that is adhik khapat. Overconsumption plays a major role in climate change. In fact, it is responsible for the overexploitation of natural resources and emission from international freight transport, which both contribute to global warming. Now, the next cause is transportation. Burning fossil fuel like gasoline and diesel releases carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. The buildup of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases like methane, nitrous oxide, and hydrofluorocarbon is causing the Earth's atmosphere to warm, resulting in the changes to the climate we are already starting to see today. Now let's see some of the impact of global warming. Global warming Global mean sea level, that is first is rise in sea level. Global mean sea level has risen about 8 to 9 inches since 1880, with about a third of that coming in just in the last 2.5 decade. निश्चित रूप से महासागरों के जल स्तर में वृद्धि का मानव समाज पर गहरा प्रभाव पड़ेगा। जल स्तर में वृद्धि के परिणामस्वरूप लगभग 1.79 मिलियन वर्ग किलोमीटर भूमि जलमग्न हो सकती है और 187 मिलियन लोग विस्थापित हो सकते हैं। नाउ द नेक्स्ट impact will be shared by my friend Himanshu.
So, one of the impacts can be drought-like situations. While some regions are likely to get wetter as the world warms, other regions that are already on the dry side are likely to get drier. Let's take a look on Aral Sea, once large saltwater lake of Central Asia situated between Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. Beginning about 1960s, Aral Sea's water level was systematically and drastically reduced because of diversion of the Amu Darya and Siar Darya rivers for irrigation purposes by Soviet government of that time, resulting the conversion of lands just are pastures or untilted lands in what are now in Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, and elsewhere in Central Asia into irrigated farmlands. Hence, the amount of water from those rivers that reached the Aral Sea dropped accordingly. By 1980s, the two great rivers virtually dried up before they reached the lake. Thus, Aral Sea began quickly shrink because of evaporation of its now unreplenished waters due to hotter days. For more impact, Ayushman will proceed.
So, as we are talking about the impacts of global warming, one of the biggest impacts is hotter temperatures. Due to global warming, these days, every land experiencing hotter days and heat waves. So, and also 2020 was recorded as one of the hottest years, and by this increase in temperature we lost so many species due to diseases. This is about all about the impacts of global warming. Now let's discuss if it's continue, what will be its effect in 2100.
Now, here the question arises how much hot the 2100 would be. In general, scientists think that the planet is going to get anywhere from 3.5 to more than 8 degrees hotter by the year 2100. But somewhere in the middle of that range is the most likely scenario. It's worth remembering that the planet has already gotten about 1.5 degrees warmer since pre-industrial time, which is the most common baseline when talking about global warming. That 1.5 degree change has already caused sea levels to rise about 7.5 inches and global ice sheets to set down about 1.3 trillion tons a year. This has disrupted global weather patterns, leading to more intense storms, droughts, heat waves, and other natural disasters. Even one more degree of warming could have devastating impacts. Now, my friend Vidikchi will make you a clear picture of it with the help of graphs.
Now, as my friend Sahil has shared with us that there will be an increase in average temperature of 3.5 degrees Celsius or 8 degrees Celsius. Now, here I have a graph showing the rise in temperature from 1950 to 2100. Now, as we can see from 1950 to 2000, there the temperature of the average temperature of Earth has remained constant. It has not increased. But from 2000 to 2100 we can see a drastic rise in temperature. Here we have two graphs, one that is colored in orange and second that is colored in blue. Now let's talk about the one which is colored in orange. Now if we produce the greenhouse gases in the same manner as we are producing today, then the parts per million concentration of carbon dioxide will rise to 1313 ppm, and we will see a drastic change in average temperature of the earth, increase in average temperature of the earth from 3.5 degrees Celsius to 5.4 degrees Celsius. But if we take certain steps and measures and we reduce the production of greenhouse gases that are emitted, then the parts per million concentration of carbon dioxide will reduce to 475 ppm, and we will see a slight increase in temperature of 1 degree or 2 degree. Now, as we have seen how hot 2100 will be, now let's see how can we prevent this from happening.
So Now let's talk about the preventions of global warming. So the first prevention that we can use is using renewable energies. Uh, at first, we have to move away from fossil fuels. The renewable energies are the alternatives. Renewable energies like solar, wind, biomass, geothermal. We can use this to use and avoid using fossil fuels to avoid global warming.
Now, coming to the transportation sector. As we know, it contributes approximately one quarter of all the energy related greenhouse gas emissions. Today's transportation sector is predominantly based upon the combustion of fossil fuels, making it one of the largest causes of global warming. So, to prevent this, we have to switch to the sustainable low emission transportation. So, like we can use electric vehicles as they offer low carbon alternative to gasoline product vehicles. Both the private and public sector are working to reduce barriers and expand EV sales worldwide. In the other cases, we can also use car sharing and as well as car pooling, as these are another friendly ways to save money, time, frustration, as well as gasoline. In addition to it, we can also do biking as well as walking, as these are not just recreational activities, but also these options help to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, traffic congestion, and also our demand for the oils. Now, proceeding towards the next prevention step.
The next prevention step is afforestation. Afforestation is establishing a forest, especially on the land not previously forested. It remains one of the most effective means of tackling climate change, particularly when it is designed to rely on green energy. This natural climate solution reduces the impact of desertification, supports ecosystem, and removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. It is countermeasure against deforestation, which has been contributing to climate change dramatically for the last few centuries. Now I want to add a poem. वृक्षों को काटने की न करो कभी भूल, पेड़ है प्रकृति के अनुकूल, अधिक पेड़ों को लगाओ, अपना जीवन सुरक्षित करो, हर जगह हरियाली लाओ, वृक्ष लगाओ, जीवन बचाओ.
So, in industrial sector, one can control the global warming by taking sustainable and effective measures like remanufacturing plants. With materials such as steel, where abundance is a concern, manufacturers can reduce the carbon emissions in the production chain by remanufacturing. This involves the reclamation of used durable materials such as steel and products that can be reused in future manufacturing processes. Now proceed with the next prevention step.
Now, the next prevention step that we all can follow and we all should follow is reasonable consumption and recycling. Why I'm talking about reasonable consumption is everything that we use in our present day, rather it may be a pin to it may be a big thing like a car. Everything uses some or other kind of fossil fuel in their production, and burning fossil fuel increases the greenhouse gas drastically, which causes our average temperature to rise, as I have said earlier also. Now, the second point is recycling. As as modernization and industrialization is increasing in present days, we can see that the demand of virgin goods or virgin products is increasing day by day. Now recycling comes into the picture because we have already dumped a lot or tons of plastic in our surrounding, which emits harmful greenhouse gases in daily, which increases parts per million concentration of carbon dioxide and methane. So instead of using new products, new virgin goods, we can recycle the old goods and we can reduce or we can stop production of greenhouse gas, and this is how we can reduce global warming. For next step, I will my friend Ishan will share.
Now, we don't have to just listen these points and then just forget about it. We all have to step up and stop neglecting this major concern of global warming. It's high time now. If this is not taken care of, then global warming has the power to provide us that kind of setback that which is never experienced before. It can make us pay in a very devastating manner because of its slow, steady nature. It hoodwinks us into the fake fact that everything is normal, but it harms our ecosystem day by day until it's too late to realize this disaster and take preventive steps of the same. Prevention is better than cure. I know it's a typical quote that is used here and there, but it surprisingly fits in this case also. Rather than waiting for its long-term damage and then grieving at the end, we all must take actions to prevent it with our full effort and take responsibility of our future in our own hands. Let's fight to give our children a better world. Now, having discussed about the preventive measures to stop global warming, we will move on to the conclusion part, and this marks the end of our discussion. Global warming is a major challenge for our global society. We all are extremely vulnerable to the negative impacts of global warming. There is very little doubt that global warming will change our climate in the next century. If the preventive measures are implemented now, a lot of the costs and damage that could be caused by global warming can be escaped. Global warming is likely to be the greatest threat of the 21st century.
Now, having spoken about global warming, now we would like to conclude our discussion by a beautiful quote that there are no passengers on the spaceship Earth. We all are crew members. Thank you all for patiently listening us.